Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, though probably mostly gentlemen. Welcome back to Carbon Racing Series Season 3. Round. I suppose technically it's round 15 or 16. It says 16 in the thumbnail and the title, but technically it's round 15 because, well, Austria happened, but we just decided to scrub the results or something. So, yeah, stuff happens. Today, we're racing in the United States of America, and Faco is looking to get the lead of the championship back. And I don't think uh, Colin is certainly not in the. He's not going to be taking part tonight. But what about Leonard? I don't think Leonard is taking part either. I'm not entirely certain. Let's see. Oh, shush, phone. Oh, where's the registrations? Leonard should be taking part, actually. So, yes, last week Leonard did take the lead of the drivers' championship after Faco failed to score. Let's. What are the other standings? I want to see. So yes, Leonard leads with 180 points over Faco with 173. Ivan is quite distant, 20 points down with 153. And Colin, who won't be taking part tonight, only 116 points. What's the calendar? We've got a few more rounds to go. We've got Mexico. We should have Imola, Saudi Arabia, and Portugal. And then we will, I think, have another round in Austria, which will be the proper round after the round 8 that failed. And that should be the season finale. Right. So. Ooh, people are talking to me on my other websites. Is that going to work today? It is incredible. It's nice to know that it's working. For once. Huh. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it sounded like the microphone might have been malfunctioning a bit, but no, I don't think so. Shush. I don't care that the esports is on. I don't really. I only watch the highlights. So there's been a couple of developments. Tim F140 has was banned from the championship for the rest of the season after he attempted to cause a safety car. Now, we're gonna say this right here. No matter what happens to you, if you want to retire in a race, you do so in the pit lane. You do not get frustrated and try and crash yourself out. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter if your force feedback fails or whatever. If you clunk the wall of your own accord, or it doesn't matter what happens, right? You do not crash yourself out to cause a safety car. So Tim was banned, and he's rage quit the league as a result because apparently he's special, I guess. Yes, so we're only gonna have 14 people. Cringe is here as well. He's got a quali ban for an incident caused in the last race. Colin also has a quali ban, but obviously he's not here right now, so that will extend to Mexico should he appear. He should. Alright, how many is that actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 13 drivers. That's not a lot. We're doing full quali for some reason. I would have done just short quali because at this rate it doesn't matter. We don't have enough drivers. So, yeah. Oh, 15 drivers have actually showed up. So, yeah, Q1 is just a formality. No one's going to be knocked out. I need to pick up my controller. So, lap data, track map, full track map, detailed tyres, everyone going on soft tyres. I imagine people will probably just do one lap, I think. One lap just to set a banker, just to set a time and make sure that no one gets knocked out through glitches or whatever. And then we would move on to U2, that's it. That's the word I was looking for. So, most people are coming out. We've got Julian standing in for Weisein Hetmar, and Den Boomer what's the word? Oh, subbing in, replacing, what's his name? Tiamo Power, who doesn't show up for the second week in a row. So but the McLaren lineup entirely new for this race. And as you will have noticed, Cringe has retired. So actually there is that. Cringe has retired to serve his quali ban. So one person will be knocked out from Q1. That's incredible. Both of the Red Bulls are out. Ivan looking to try and catch up in the championship. But he's got a lot of work to do. It's a 20-point gap between him and second place Faco. Faco has a lot less work to do, with only 7 points between him and leader Lennart. We'll run with the Red Bull for now. Going up the hill into turn 1. We've got a yellow flag already. That's from the Aston Martin. Come to a full stop to let the fast cars past. Heading towards the fake Maggots and Beckett's. The absolute worst part of this track, if you ask me. Really just not nice to drive, at least that's how I find it. The rest of the track is actually quite decent, but those few corners, that snaky bit, just not nice for me. We've got a McLaren going slowly. Den Boomer has invalidated already. Heading down the main straight now. Down towards the stadium section. Sort of reverse stadium section. The opposite of Hockenheim. Give me a minute, I'm going to move my microphone a bit. Going through this stadium section, reverse Hockenheim, and then into reverse Turkey turn 8. And the other McLaren has gone off, that's Julian. So I don't think I don't know if he crashed or not. We'll take a look. No, he's just lost it, I think. So The benchmark was set by Kane, 132.0. Ivan goes second fastest, 132.1. Pookie only 132.7. And then we've got Leonard on his outlap. And then Dan Edwin will come across next. He goes fourth fastest, 133.1. Next up, it's going to be Ben Dixon, as both McLarens did invalidate. Ben Dixon a bit squirrely on the exit, goes third fastest, 132.4. And then Jurancic comes along and goes fifth fastest, 132.8. Jurancic, by the way, did create an intro for me to use on this stream, and unfortunately I forgot to set it all up, and by the time I remembered, it was too late. So, but yeah, he went out of his way to create an intro, and everything's looking a bit janky for some reason. Frame rate is a bit doesn't look like it should. Dirk is I don't think Dirk is pushing. I don't think he liked how his lap has been going. And Julian has invalidated again. Oh, and Dembuma is going around. So I don't think he's got a lot of rear end grip on this McLaren. As Leonard goes second fastest, 132.122. And yeah, he's going to come in and replace those tyres. I don't really see... Oh, he's really losing the rear end. He's got... Yeah, those tyres are cooked. He just needs to set a single lap time. Everyone here just needs to set a single lap time. There's no... Only one person's going to be knocked out, and that's going to be Cringe. Everyone else coming in. Currently, 4 drivers in need of a lap time. That's Julian, Faco, who hasn't even come out yet, Denboomer, and Hyper, who's on his outlap right now. We've got a yellow flag. That's Dirk. He's lost it out of turn 6. I think that's turn 6. And his rears are cooked too. So, yeah. We'll ride with Hyper now, as the only man on a timed lap here, the fast lap. Heading towards not Maggots and not Beckett's and not Chapel. Into turn 7. I don't remember all the names of the corners. Apparently he's gone purple. I think that's just a personal purple. Doesn't run wide at turn 9. Keeps his lap time through 10, that was. Into the hairpin left of turn 11. And then down the straight. DRS opens now. Not looking particularly wide. At least it wasn't as wide as Lewis Hamilton's wing in Brazil. Down into turn 12. What's the sector time going to be like? It's a 101.8, so we are automatically, I know that's quite fast. Real pole lap was a 102, I think. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Towards turn 19, a rather awkward left-hander, doesn't go wide. Into turn 20. Looking rather nice. And fastest so far, 131.8. Faco, Julian, and Denboomer all on outlaps. As Dirk, staying on the soft tyres. Slightly slower through the first sector. Currently on his fast lap into turn 11. His tyres are obviously a lot cooler. He's decided to keep using these tyres. May as well use them, not use a new set. as that would be rather wasteful. You're not going to be knocked out anyway. You just need to set a... In fact, he doesn't really even need to set a better time. That 152 is enough. You will get through with that. No one else is going to be knocked out. There's not enough drivers. But he's going to set a faster time for Pride, I guess. Cutting it very close there. That's the Max Verstappen line, I believe. Turn 19 gets a bit of a slide. Carl isn't sounding too happy. I think he had a bit of a lock-up. Goes 6th fastest, 132.5. Currently, Faco leads everyone. Jurancic is going up for another lap time, even though he doesn't need to. I don't think anyone realizes that they don't need to go out for another lap. Faco using a lot of the runoff there, taking a lot of the inside, but the Sector 2 time isn't as good as Hyper's was, 102. This Alpine not looking as planted as Hyper's Mercedes. It's almost like real life. Into turn 19. Very close to the line. The white paint line was actually phasing through the car. It's floating above the ground. Goes third, 132.091, 300ths behind Kane. Meanwhile, the two McLarens. Oh, there goes Den Boomer, and Julian's done exactly the same. So, Den Boomer will will start the race behind Formula Cringe. Julian does get the lap time in, but yeah, both of those cars, these McLarens, obviously not got a very good setup if they're using the rear end on anything. Even turn 19, I've never... as far as I recall, I've never lost the rear end through turn 19. Those rears are definitely looking a bit cooked. I should point out, it's not really necessary to set faster lap times, as only 2 people are going to be knocked out. Technically, I think you could just retire right now. But do it for pride, I guess. Julian is sticking with it. I didn't catch the sector time, but it should be a... Well, I don't know if it will be faster. The third sector definitely will be. He did come to a more or less a stop on turn 20. And he's gonna pass the floating ghost tire of his teammate. And across the line, it's not much of an improvement. 136.2. Those tires obviously still not feeling great. Leonard also wanting to improve his time. Don't know why. Oh, Dan Edwin has had a spin, and I think Leonard did too. So, oh yeah, those rears definitely cooked. I'm not certain what's going on with the setups today. I've got a quite nice setup that the rear is rather stable on that. The only places I've really lost the rear end in have been in the first sector. Comes into the pits, don't cut. I've got Jurancic going slowly. Julian 2.8 up in the second sector, 103. So he obviously didn't have a very good second sector on that first lap. He's got a bit of a slide there. Wasn't looking too planted. Well, wasn't looking too happy anyway. Gonna come across the line. This will be an improvement, but his rears are definitely not looking in great shape. Only a 133.5 is an improvement, but it doesn't really matter because he's gonna get through anyway. Dirk's gonna try his luck again as well. I really hope he's not on a new set of tyres. No, he's not. It says 3 laps. Yeah, so yeah, most people just doing 1 lap. Dirk and Dan Edwin, Jurancic and Julian have done multiple laps. Really is no point in doing more laps. You just need to do 1. You'll get through otherwise anyway. And I don't think he'll improve. He may improve, but I don't think it's likely. Stick with him for now as he comes to turn 1. It was a bit of a lock-up by the sounds of things. Heading towards the false Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, and he cuts the inside, so that's automatically a invalidation. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So he cut the inside of turn 3, I think it was. Yeah, everyone's retiring. There is no need to really go out again. Only 2 people are going to be knocked out. Oh, what's going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15. Huh? I don't think we lost anyone. let me look at that. Don't think we. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What? Ah. Okay, looking back at an earlier part of the stream, it was saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, it's a bit, a little bit bugged. There's only 13 people. For some reason, it thinks there's 15. Anyway, Mr. Dirk, you just gotta retire. Or is that... Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, there we go. No, what? One. Apparently there are 15 people here, but it's only showing 13. Let me look at this. What? Nope. It is definitely. It's not showing 12 and 13 still. Yeah. So that's just a strange bug, if I'm honest. That is weird. Oop. Anyway, moving on to Q2. I wonder what will happen on the grid. Will they be given the 12th and 13th spots like they're supposed to? Or will there be a gap between P12, P11 and P14? Will they just be given a disadvantage? Will it be a sort of United States 2005 situation? First car out. It's a Ferrari of Jurancic. Jurancic Balaz. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know how to pronounce umlauts. You sort of pretend there's an E after the letter, but those are not umlauts. Who else is coming out? There's a Red Bull, a Mercedes, a Aston Martin that looked like it wanted to pull a Valtteri Bottas in Austria. I think that is not Lennart, it's Dirk. And Lennart is coming out now. Cringe somehow got through. Huh? Why is Cringe here? He's not supposed to... So, wait! No. Okay, Cringe is not supposed to be here. Hence why he retired again. So, most people out on the track, only people who are still in the pits are Pookie, Faco, and Cringe, who will not be coming out because of his quali ban. Vied with the Ferrari for now. He takes a bit of a slowdown. He's on the medium tyres. We want the lap data again. Tyres. We've got a few people out on the mediums. Lennart, Bendixson, Jurancic, Julian, Dan Edwin, Kane, and Dirk. Hyper, Pookie, Ivan, and Faco are trying their luck on the softs. Well, Faco hasn't even put tyres on yet. I suppose that's just the default tyre. Ferrari looking maybe a bit slidey. There's a 26-1 in the first sector. Takes a turn 9 very narrow. Got a yellow flag already. I really don't think those McLarens like these high-speed turns. Down the main straight for the Ferrari. Not taking anywhere near as much curb as Faker was, as I could definitely see that the white edge line is floating. Yellow flag as that's Ivan, I think. Yeah, Ivan has invalidated his lap time, so he'll be going slowly. Oh, bit of a wobble from the Ferrari, and he's aborted that. So that was probably going to be a quite good lap for the Ferrari. He's going to go again, though. Must still have enough battery. He's got 73%, but those tyres won't be in the best of states. And the benchmark is 142. That is immediately going to be broken. 132.1. An entire 10.1 seconds faster, but that is because Jurancic did abort. Next across the line will be Dan Edwin, also on the mediums, but he's invalidated as well. So it will be Lennart who will be... Not Lennart, Dirk who will challenge next. He's not had the best Sector 2 time, and he's only a 143.9. Bendixson, 133.3. Hyper... No, that was Pookie, I think. And Lennart is invalidated as well, I think, unless he was on an outlap. Next up is Kane. He's a 102.6 in Sector 2. Goes second, 132.9. Hyper is on the soft tyres, though, so if he doesn't improve on the mediums, he will have to start on the softs. Who's next? Faco still in the pits, as is... Well, it's not Ivan. Ivan is not still in the pits. He did come out. He just invalidated and has come in. Wonder if he'll try his luck on the mediums as well. Pookie getting a bit of a slipstream from his teammate. And that might be quite good. But he is on softs. Only a 102.5 in the second sector. And he's invalidated. So that's not gone too well. Dan Edwin hasn't invalidated this lap. He probably won't invalidate again. Coming through the final turn, and it's only going to be a 1:33, slowest representative time so far. And is that Leonard? Yes, Leonard is going to set a 1:33.0, so he's gone third fastest. And I think Julian's had another spin. Yes. So, I think these... I'm not certain what's their... what's it called? Yeah, the setup that both McLarens are using is obviously not a very good one to use here. And those mediums are going to be absolutely cooked. Meanwhile, Dirk has gone slowest of the representative times, only 1:34.0. But there's only 2 places that you can lose. And one of them is more than likely going to be cringe. Oh, and he's going round again! Yeah, the mediums aren't going to be cutting it for dear old Julian. So I think he needs to switch out for softs, which will have more grip and certainly aren't going to be cooked. Sam joins. He didn't join in time, so he'll start dead last. Pookie coming round to set a lap time 1:02.9 in the second sector. And he goes fourth, 1:33.3. An entire 1.2 seconds behind his teammate, but I don't think he'll want to start on these sides. They've done an entire another lap than Hypers have. Ben Dixon and Jancic wanting to go out on soft tyres. Oh, who's that? That is Ivan on softs as well. Fresh softs. Unless it's the same softy from his first attempt. Baco also on an outlap. But currently, it's Ivan, the only one on a flying lap that will be representative, as Julian has gone, obviously had all those millions of spins. 6.5 minutes left in the session. The DRS opens on the Red Bull, heading down towards turn 12. Through the floating white line. What's the sector time going to be like? It's a 1:01.7. That should be faster than Pookie, if at this rate. And there's the Alpine of Faco letting the Red Bull by. Through the triple right-hander into turn 19. Don't invalidate. He has not. Should be on for a good time here. 1:31.8, fastest lap of the session. 3/10 faster than Hyper. We ride with Faco, the Alpine, on its probably one and only flying lap here. On the soft tyres. Also behind the 2 Ferraris. One of the Ferraris even. And that's Ben Dixon he's behind. He'll get a bit of dirty air, I think, from this. And I don't know why Ben Dixon and Jurassic are going to go on the soft tyres when I think the medium tyre is probably the better race tyre to start on here. Baker will get a bit of a slipstream from Bendixson here, but I'm not certain it's gonna be much of a benefit. He is still within the dirty air range. What's the sector times gonna be like? That's a 1018, 1017. So Faco has gone slightly faster than Bendixson, and somehow he's invalidated. How? He didn't go off the track, I swear. How did he invalidate? I don't know. I'm rewatching that. He must have gone further off the track than I thought. Than it showed, at least. Bendixson's gone second fastest. About a tenth behind Ivan. So he'll have to start on the soft tyres, which will mean he'll have to pit rather early. Julian also going on the soft tyres. We'll stick with him, see if he's got his rear under control. But I'm not certain he can fix this this chronic issue that the McLaren has, and he's definitely not looking very planted through turn 6. Oh, and he avoids invalidation. Didn't catch what the sector time, the first sector time was. Both of the Aston Martins are out. Dirk would definitely want to be trying to go faster. Julian comes across the sector for 102.0. Should be a lot faster, but we'll have to see what happens in the triple right-hander of 18-ish. So does not lose the rear. So that's good. Through turn 19, manages to hold on. This is going to be a decent lap. Faco goes fastest, 131.4. Julian does improve to 5th place, which will be enough for him, I think. Dirk has apparently gone purple in the second sector. Potentially fastest of all the drivers in that sector, at least. Coming through turn 20, doesn't invalidate, amazingly, and goes P3, which puts Dan Edwin in the danger zone, but he's on his outlap here. He switched out his medium tyres for softs, as there's something weird going on there. I think that's Faco. That was Faco's retired Alpine making a hell of a lot of noise. Dirk's happy with his lap. I would be too. Pookie potentially in danger here. Only a 133.3. And I'm not certain there's enough time for him to get out. Pookie has actually retired, so he won't get out. Which puts him in danger here. Leonard, sensing that he may be in danger. It's invalidated, but it will be coming round to start another lap right now. Dan Edwin also on his out lap, using so much runoff on the entrance into turn 1, risking invalidation. Oh, looking absolutely planted. Oof. Very close to the edge there. Bit of a wide through turn 6. The car wanted to slide more. So a bit of understeer there. But otherwise, looking decent. Hyper's also trying to wanting to get out and set another fast lap. He just about gets over the line to start it, but he doesn't really need to, I don't think. Leonard heading down. He's not taking as much of the runoff here as Faco was earlier. What's the sector time going to be? It's a 1:01.796. 7/10 up. I don't think he's going to be in danger of being knocked out here, but you never know. What's Dan Edwin going to do? He's 2/10 up in sector 1. Dan Edwin, ooh, faster than his first lap, but not by much. He's definitely down on Leonard's time. Leonard comes around the final corner. Ooh, bit nearly invalidates, but he goes second. Dan Edwin coming through the triple right-hander down towards turn 19. Keeps it within bounds. White line phasing through the front wing. What's he going to do? It should be an improvement. It is. Pookie has been knocked out of out of qualifying, and that's going to be a shocker. I don't know if he felt he had enough time to get out, but it hasn't paid dividends here, and Piper also improves. So he will start the race on fresh soft tyres. I think everyone's going to start the race on fresh, or relatively fresh, soft tyres. And there we go. Pookie, a race winner, will start the race outside of the top 10, but he will get a free choice of tyres. In fact, Kane will start the race on mediums. But yeah, that's Pookie on soft tyres did set a slower lap than Kane did on mediums. That's gotta hurt. Lone Star State. Lone Star. Brave Star, or however it goes. I had a book about Brave Star. It was weird. Like many 80s cartoons, it was weird. Mind you, I'm not that old. I do not remember the 80s because I wasn't in the 80s. I'm a 90s kid. Ed and Eddie rather than Brave Star and Transformers and the like. Oh, what's going on there? It's strange. So, people are coming out. We've got Kane is the first man out on the track. Car number 12. That's almost Felipe Nasr. Nasr was a decent driver, but Sauber, they didn't like him. Nor did they like Pascal Wehrlein much. Nah, they wanted the money of Marcus Ericsson, so yay. Was Ericsson a good driver? I think he was okay. Yeah. One lap on old tyres, got distracted. Didn't have enough time to go out, so Pookie, at least you will have a free choice of tyres. Everyone else is locked. So maybe you can make an alternate strategy work. Go out on fast tyre, on, not mediums. Start the race on mediums and finish the race on faster soft tyres. I'm gonna need a drink. I don't have a lot of water left in my bottle to make a squash with. So Kane crosses the line to be the first man to start a flying lap here at the Circuit of the Americas into turn 1. Absolutely I say dead on the brakes. That's not really a saying, is it? Coming through turn 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not looking as understeery as Lennart was at the end of Q2. Didn't see what the sector time was. See what the sector time should be. It should be around a 24.8 for Ben Dixon. Heading down the main straight. CRS wide open. Yellow flag, that is Dirk, who has invalidated. Everyone out on track now. It's just Faco and Hyper who have not started the flying lap. 101.6 for Kane. What is Ben Dixon going to do? We'll see as he crosses the line. Only a 101.8, so Ben Dixon down on Kane here. Through turn 19. Decent amount of runoff. Goes to the phasing through line, whatever. DRS opens with a short run to the line. 131.3 is the benchmark. Jurassic next. 132.0. Ben Dixon should go faster than that. 131.9. Kane blowing the Ferraris out of the water right now. There's a bit of a traffic jam in the stadium section. Next car along will be Lennart with, I think that's Ivan, who was invalidated behind Faco in his outlap. So that's both of the Aston Martins in close succession to each other. Lennart taking a lot of runoff into turn 20. Very close to invalidation there. Goes second. Still, how many is that? Half a second behind Kane? Just doesn't have an answer for the pace of the AlphaTauri here. Who's next across the line to potentially set a lap time? It will be Hyper. 102.0 in the second sector. Across the line, slowest car so far. About, how much is that? About 800ths behind Jurassic. Who's next? Both the Ferraris will be coming in. Faco. Ivan will be the next man across the line. Red Bull. Looking like it normally does once again after the turkey skin got removed. And the turkey livery was fantastic. I didn't look at the sector time, I'm sorry. Oh well. I'm sure it should be at least a 102. The car looked a little bit slidey through the triple right-hander. It takes a lot of runoff. He's pulling a Lennart. No holds barred here. DRS opens second fastest, but he's still 4/10ths behind Kane. And Faco, closest man to matching Kane, still 300ths behind. So I don't think this is Lennart's best track. As Hyper improves his lap time to a 131.7, but that's still almost 3.5 behind Kane. I think pole here is going to be decided between Kane and Faco. And currently, there's only hundredths in it. Julian 132.6. Slowest man on track. Given how unpredictable that McLaren has been, I'm not surprised. Dirk starts a flying lap. The second Aston Martin deputizing for Colin Hogenberg. Colin unavailable to race today. Through 3 and 4 are looking rather planted. Ooh, didn't look as understeery as Leonard was. 24.9 through sector 1. Oh, and he loses the rear end. So he's overdriving the car, and he's going to need to come in quickly to either replace those tyres or, you know, at least get round. To try and set a representative lap time here. Julian has invalidated again, but I reckon he'll be coming in. In the meantime, I think I'm going to try and make a quick drink, so... Come here, squash. I have need of your hydration properties. I put too much in there. Bollocks. There's a Ferrari out on track. That's Jurassic. On an outlet. Tell you what, this is probably going to be one hecking strong squash. To the point that it's probably going to be quite acrid. But too much in there. A little acrid. Dan Edwin on an outlap. How did I miss that? Well, Julian has gone 1.18. Yeah, 0.18 up in the second sector, so he should improve here. But it might not be much. 3:19. Don't lose. Oh, he loses it. And that's, yeah, he's lost his rear wheel there. This McLaren is definitely not looking very happy through on this track. And I don't know why. I think the setup is wrong. Yeah, that's not looking great. So anyone on a fast lap here? Well, flying lap, yes we do. We have Jurassic coming out of turn 1. He's got a Mercedes ahead that's hyper on an outlap. He dutifully moves across to let him through. Leonard also starts on a flying lap here. And I think we'll want to ride with Leonard. Oh, nope. It's not a crash. That was... Oh, Leonard has already invalidated. So Leonard, unless he can get round to the start of the track of the lap here, Leonard may have... No, Leonard is a... He could be cutting it close here. But Leonard may be out of qualifying here with a best of P5. Ride with Jurassic, who has not invalidated, as he comes through turn... Oh, what is that? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of the triple right-hander down towards 19. There's a Aston Martin ahead. He doesn't lose the rear end like Julian did. DRS will open. What's it going to be? He improves to P5. Knocks Leonard out. Yes, Leonard might not make it here. He's got seconds. He's not going to make it. Leonard is going to be knocked out in P6. No, wait. He hasn't been knocked out. I think he's made it just by the skin of his teeth, unless the timer is a bit bugged. So I think Leonard has just about made it, but Dan Edwin has not. He has at least finished in P8 here, but it's just not a great lap for Dan Edwin here. And Dirk has also invalidated, so Dirk is not going to set a lap time here. He will start in 10th. And Kane has had a crash! What has happened to poor old Kane? I think he's lost it on the exit here, and Kane stands a good chance of losing pole here to Faco. What is Hyper gonna do? 101.6 for whatever was his name? Ivan, that was it. Ivan goes only third. Faco, how much faster is he gonna go? He will take pole. 131.192. Unless Ben Dixon has an answer for it. So Faco on provisional pole here. The Ferrari opens the rear wing. Does not improve. Doesn't improve the time, but doesn't improve position. Hyper is next. Also improves, but it's not enough. And that was Dirk, I think, behind. No, that was Lennart behind, who did manage to survive. So Lennart did not improve. So Lennart will start in P7, which isn't the greatest position to start for the championship leader. So Faco will lead the field away. But is it going to be another case of the 2021 United States Grand Prix? Will P2 be able to get the gun, jump the gun on P1 into turn 1? And how long will the McLarens last? That is the question. Yes, I don't think the McLarens will have a very good race, given how loose those rear ends are. Yeah. It's like drinking an actual orange. I'd be better off freezing it and turning it into a lollipop. So the race begins. Well, the formation lap begins about now. At least it should. Ooh, I was about to say, what is going on? That is going on. Bring up the lap data again. Bring up the telemetry. We want tyres. 3 people starting on tyres. Cringe, Pookie, and Kane. Kane did just about slip into Q3 on those mediums. So only, yeah, Kane, Pookie, and Cringe running the alternate strategy here. Cringe, who got the quali ban, starts ahead of Den Boomer through no real fault of Den Boomer's. Well, actually, it is kind of Den Boomer's fault because he did crash, but the Williams should technically be starting last here. But by virtue of the game being strange, yeah, if you crash in qualifying for some reason, you you start behind anyone else. Taking their sweet time to complete this formation lap, and Faco has got a bit impatient. Starting to treat a bit like a race. Trying to get some heat into those tyres, I think. But then again, that's not going to work out too well for him, because he's going to... I think if this is anything like real life, those tyres are going to cool down quite a bit. Look how much of a gap there is between Faco and Kane. Faco does at least have the advantage of being on the on the soft tyres. I forgot who I was talking about there. Faco is on the soft tyres, so he should... What's the word? Yes, he should get a better launch than Kane, but you never know. Lights are coming on. 5 red lights and a lights out, and away we go. And I think Faco is not getting a very good start there. And indeed he's not. He's bogged down. Kane is going to lead the field away, and it's going to be Ivan in P2. And bit of a slide, bit of wheel spin. And there goes Kane. Kane has had a spin, and so has Ivan. I think there may have been contact there. That is not going to be good for Ivan's championship hopes. So Kane spins, Ivan spins. I don't think there's been any real damage. There's a lot of moving on around the field. Dembuma up 5 positions. 5 or 6. Oh, and then goes a Ferrari off onto the grass there. That's Jurancic. And that, I don't know if that was a racing incident or what. Leonard up into P3 after Ivan and Kane had their incident. Pardon me. Into the stadium section, turn 15, whatever it is. Hyper is the man most likely to potentially get past Faco. But there's half a second separates the two. And that gap is growing. Dirty Air is going to be rather nasty, potentially. 1:37.0 is the first lap, but that doesn't really matter. It's the first lap. I wish it would stop saying that. Given that neither Ivan nor Kane have pit, I don't think there has been no damage to either of those cars. And the train begins. Hyper is... it goes wide. And that's allowing Ben Dixon to catch up. And now he's outside of DRS range of the Alpine. And Ben Dixon and Lennart are gonna want to make a move on Hyper here. Is Lennart going up the outside of Ben Dixon? Oh, and a bit of a squirrely exit for the Ferrari. Dumping the ERS, clean air for all 3 of them. Ben Dixon trying to get the slipstream on Hyper, but it hasn't worked out at all. Lennart is up into the podium positions, right behind the Mercedes. Ben Dixon wanting to get back past. He's very close to the rear of that car there. Dembuma also very close to the rear end of the Red Bull of Dan Edwin. Up 2 places. I think Jurancic has had another mistake. There's another car going around. That's Cringe, who's down into 11th. Or 12th or something. He's disappeared from the map. I can't see him. He's covered up by Kane, that's why. Oh, and Dembuma getting looks like a much better exit than Dan Edwin. But he's going to have to hold off for now. Especially through Maggots and Beckett's here. Fake Maggots and Beckett's. He's not had the best series of corners there, but he's still within range. And there's a bit of a gap between Ben Dixon and Julian. Julian obviously not able to keep control of his McLaren as well as Dembuma can. Meanwhile, up ahead, there's another gap forming. There's a 1.5 seconds between Hyper and Faco, a second between Leonard and Ben Dixon. And Ben Dixon wanting to get past, but Leonard did get the DRS. There's been a change of position down the field. Sorry I missed that. Julian has lost out to Dan Edwin, and he may well lose out to his teammate too, and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. So I think he'll want to try and let his teammate pass, but he's not making it easy for Den Boomer. But the move is inevitable. He loses position. Dan Edwin now 2 seconds behind Ben Dixon. Let's see how fast he can catch up. And already that gap is slightly... it's hard to tell. Pookie is looking to get past Julian as well, as Hyper sets the fastest lap. And in fact, Hyper is somewhat gaining on the Alpine. We've got another yellow flag. That's Kane. And I think Kane coming in for a pit stop. I think he may have damage here. Can't tell. No, yes, indeed, he does have a damaged front wing. So, what was an excellent launch, an excellent start for the AlphaTauri driver, has turned into a disaster of a race. Meanwhile, Hyper is dropping Leonard somewhat, and I think Leonard is in danger of losing the third position here. And indeed, Ben Dixon dumping the ERS where he was, and now he's got I said the DRS instead of ERS, he's got the DRS now. And he manages to retake the third position. Meanwhile, down the field, Dirk is getting past Julian, who goes off the track again. And that's going to be a lasting advantage, I think. So that's not really a move you should make, but he's gone wide. He's really not making it easy, and I think he's really pushing the rules, is Julian. But Julian is obviously the slower car, and you can see just how loose the rear end of that McLaren is. And he's very slow in the exit. There's DRS and ERS for the Aston Martin. And that's the move made. Dirk was patient, and he's getting his reward, but Julian is making a bit of a dive. And I think Dirk hasn't had the best exit either. They're going side by side. This isn't going to work out very well. Dirk picks up a second penalty as well, as does Dan Edwin. And who's going to be here, as Hyper is within a second of Faco. So Faco not having the best of pace here. As we saw Ben Dixon going off the track, how much can he gain? It's not going to be enough to pick up. And Pookie is going to get past Dan Edwin here. The Mercedes really absolutely flying. And Dan Edwin had the DRS too. And Dan Edwin does knock down the board. Oh well. Julian now down at the 10th. He's been overtaken by Ivan, who is gradually making his way back through the field. Dirk is it's hard to tell, really. I think it was looking like Dirk was going to lose the position. I think he may well lose the position on this next lap, as Leonard is going into the pit lane. Has he picked up damage? Don't think so. I think he's just wanting to switch his tyres. That is what the soft tyres. He's going to try and get an undercut, I think, here. I'm not certain what the pit strategy is going to be like. Hyper has closed the gap again. But it's kind of like we were seeing in the real race. You lose a lot of time through the S-bends. And he's outside of a second there. So it could well be that he's not going to get the what's it called? DRS on this occasion. And he hasn't. We've lost the DRS board at some point. Pookie is going to try and make his move on Demboomer here. But I don't think there's enough... No, there's not enough time. It's too far back. And Ivan did get past Dirk in the end. So it's looking like we're going to have a fight for victory between Faker and Hyper at this stage. But race is only 50%. Is either of these drivers going to pit? No. Leonard may have jumped the gun somewhat, but you never know. Maybe this is the masterclass from Leonard. Unfortunately, there's no real way to tell how fast they're lapping. Leonard's lap isn't all representative. We've had a spin. Potentially, Julian has gone off, and I think he's cooked his rears again. And now he's got Formula Cringe in the Williams for company. He's an absolute snail down the straights. And Cringe does get up into position 8. Julian, I think, is going to want to pit. Ben Dixon, no, that's Jurancic in the pits again. So Jurancic is also having a bit of a race to forget. Has Ben Dixon pit? I think he may well have done. I didn't catch that. In fact, yes, he has pit because he's on medium tyres. Pookie, closer than ever than he's been to Demboomer. He's making ground on the McLaren. The McLaren, though, fighting back, but he's using a lot of ERS to do it. So the Mercedes of Pookie is gaining on Demboomer and dropping Dan Edwin. And Dan Edwin is up into P6 by virtue of the pits. Of the people pitting. Meanwhile, the fight for P1 is 7/10, but there's still lots of dirty air going on. Hyper's just not able to catch up as much as he would like. He catches up in the straights, but then he loses it through the bendy bits. And there's Ivan is pitting for fresh tyres. Anyone else going to pit? I don't think so. And yeah, but as you can see, the interval times are actually getting closer there. I don't think Faco has had a very good turn 6 there. And Faco now in danger of losing the lead, and he's got a bit squirrely on the exit of turn 9. I don't see any way that he could keep the lead here, so he'll want to pit on this lap, I think. Those soft tyres definitely falling off the cliff somewhat. And he's not even going to fight it. He's keeping his position. Not even going to use the ERS. And that's an easy overtake for the lead by Hyper. So can Faco get an undercut on the Mercedes here? Or will they both try and pit at the same time? Who knows? Meanwhile, Ben Dixon making a move on Formula Cringe. Wasn't as close as he would have liked, I don't think, and he's going to have to hold off for now. And there we go. Hyper is in the pits. He made the move, and he thinks he can sort of pull off the undercut here. Sort of, I guess. Because when Faco pits, he will sort of be in a disadvantage. That's Leonard going off the track there. Ben Dixon gets the DRS into turn 1. He's using the ERS2. He wants to get past the Williams before the S's. Cringe does fight it a little bit, but he's going to have to settle for 9th here. And Ben Dixon now making a charge. But his undercut attempt was not successful. He's quite some distance behind Hyper. And Leonard is quite close. So Leonard almost got the undercut to work, but in the end it wasn't enough. Gaps are quite large now, and that's the disadvantage of having a rather small field. The gaps are quite large in the end. So Faco, I reckon, is going to pit here, and he's been going for one hell of a in-lap. He's been using the ERS, and there we go. He dives into the pits. And those tyres are definitely not looking too cool. Hyper coming around turn 19 now. Goes onto the hard tyres. Hyper now coming around the final bend. He's on the straight. And this is going to be... Hyper has definitely got into the lead. He's made it I suppose it's an undercut. And he's gained a lot of time on Faco. And that's Leonard, actually. Leonard has made the undercut work, I think. Oh, that was very close, though. That's a noise I didn't want to make. So Leonard almost got past Faco there. But, he had to back off, as you don't want to go side by side into the S's. And I think, what are the pit stops? Most people have made a pit stop by now. Both of the Red Bulls have. They're down in 9th and 10th. And it's currently Den Boomer in the lead in P2. But he will have to pit. Dirk is in P3. And Hyper is 1.5 seconds clear of Faco. So he's made that pit stop strategy work to perfection. He is definitely the faster driver here. Where will Pookie come out? He'll probably come out down in P9 or something. Currently, the fastest lap is held by Kane, 134.698. But I reckon at some point, one of these drivers is going to go faster. Currently, Ben Dixon less than 6/10 behind Leonard, who they did get past Faco. So Faco is actually not have had a great lap there. Something's happened to Faco. I missed that. Let me look at the stream. It's actually really far behind for some reason. So... stop it. So yeah, I think Faco's had a very poor... I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Currently, though, Ben Dixon very close to Leonard. It's a battle I was distracted on, but still managed to catch it. Let's see what the tyres are like. Similarly aged tyres. And the Ferrari does appear to be the faster car around here. Or at least the faster driver, at least. We do have equal cars. And Dirk comes into the pits. So, Ferrari wanting to get past Leonard. Ben Dixon manages to close the gap, but he's going to hold off for now. But there's a lot of wheel spin on the Aston Martin. Leonard putting his foot down. Maybe his setup isn't as great as he would like it to be. The gap is still less than 0.5 of a second. And yeah, I don't think Leonard is going to be able to keep P4 for much longer. This is effectively for... yeah, this is in fact effectively for position 2 in the race. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Jurancic has had a retirement. Not certain what's happened there. I think he must have lost it, as Ben Dixon does get past Lennart into turn 12. We don't even have a safety car. Pookie really quite far ahead, but he's not going to be able to keep that lead, I don't think. And he's staying out. Maybe he's trying to make a one-stop work. Because I think the two-stop would probably be a race to run around here, as Den Boomer is pitting. Can Lennart fight back? Well, he's got the DRS, but he's not got quite a lot of ERS. Ben Dixon has quite a lot more to play with. And Hyper, meanwhile, is just running away with the effective race lead, about less than 10 seconds behind his teammate. Jan Edwin is up into P6, and Ivan wanting to try and get back past Cringe. Is a position I think he will gain here. Not quite the closest fight on the track, as he takes a look up the inside of 11, but he'll get the DRS here. And the DRS opens. He's using his ERS as well, wanting to make sure that the move sticks. And to his credit, Cringe does defend, but his tyres, I don't think they're going to be very happy. They are as old as the race is, so good 12 or so laps. Pookie staying out, but he's lost 7/10 already. And now we wait for some action. Lennart has been dropped by Ben Dixon. He's outside of DRS range. And Faco has lost time too. So, Faco, who led the race up until more or less the first pit stop, but in the end he just didn't have the pace to answer with against Hyper. And Hyper just looking absolutely imperious. Been a rather topsy-turvy race. First it was looking like it was going to be Kane who was going to win, and then it was going to be Faco, and now it's looking like it's going to be Hyper, and I don't think anything can really argue with his lead here. And meanwhile, Pookie is just going to be losing more and more time. I think Pookie has to try and pit to minimize the damage, but alternate strategy and whatnot, maybe his fresher tyres will be able to pay him dividends. And at this rate, Ivan is looking like he's gonna lose out on the championship. P7, 6 points is not gonna be enough to keep up with even Faco. He's only going to gain 10 points at this rate. But given that Pookie is going to pit, I think Faco is going to get 12 points out of this. But Lennart is one position ahead. He's going to gain even more. So Lennart is going to pull away. We've got a yellow flag, as that's Den Boomer. No, it's Julian. It's Julian. Has had an incident. And the AlphaTauri of Kane now trying to get past. Kane, after spinning on the first lap, has been a bit of a nobody in this race. It all just fell apart after one or two corners. Currently, now the closest battle is between Den Boomer and Cringe. Cringe on ancient medium tyres, but should he pit? Well, he will pit. When he does pit, he'll get much fresher tyres than the rest of the field. He should be a figurative rocket. And that's the McLaren past the Williams. Lennart picks up a 3-second time penalty. And I think he's made a mistake at some point, because now Faco is less than a second behind him. Faco is definitely wanting to get past, close that gap in the championship. And I think Lennart may have dirty tyres here. It's not looking great for him. And Den Boomer picks up a penalty as well. Oh. And Cringe is finally pitting. So, what tyres is he going to go out onto? I reckon should be soft tyres. Indeed, it looks like softs. But I don't think those are going to last very long, but he'll be back rather fast for the first few laps. And Pookie, only man who hasn't pit yet. Kane goes on his fastest lap yet. 134.3 on tyres that I believe... Oh, they're actually 1 lap old. He's pit recently. So he set the fastest lap, but Cringe will be a challenger for that, as will Pookie. Wonder how long he's going to keep going. He's done 15 laps on these tyres. They're going to be screaming for mercy. Please, please, pit now. I'm looking at the wrong one. So, yep. Pookie, only man who hasn't pit yet. What are the penalties looking like? Pookie has 3 seconds. Lennart and Dan Edwin have 6 seconds. Ouch. Den Boomer also has 3 seconds. Dirk and Cringe have 6 seconds. And Julian has 9, whilst Pookie stays out another lap. 10 positions up. It's not going to be keeping those all of those positions, that's for certain. We've got a yellow flag. That is Den Boomer, who has spun through turn 18. And that's that legendary McLaren rear instability coming into play once again. And those tyres are cooked. And he's coming in for fresh tyres. So that may be Den Boomer's chances of points over. Oh, I picked up the wrong one. Nope. And in fact, Den Boomer is going to be passed by his teammate, but he should be rather quick. What's all the fastest lap going to be like? Cringe has not... Well, he should be on his first lap right now. Pookie has not managed to close the gap to... no, not Pookie. Hyper has not managed to close the gap too much to Pookie, so he's managing to keep pace. Lennart, meanwhile, has been overtaken by Faco. So the Alpine finally gets past the Aston Martin, and those hard tyres should be faring a bit better than these mediums. And as well, these mediums did look like they were overheating somewhat. And that's Pookie coming into the pit lane now. So Hyper will retake the lead on this lap. And there you go, he gets past. But Faco, not Faco, Lennart looking like... Oh, Dirk is retired. What happened to Dirk here? Did he crash? It's possible. And yes, that's a very crashed looking McLaren. So what is Cringe going to do for a fastest lap here? It's not quite enough. It's very close to what Kane did, but Kane did that on mediums and Cringe is on softs. Meanwhile, Lennart has managed to keep Faco honest here. He's managed to keep within the time, the 1 second DRS slot time. And he's using his ERS. Faco is not. And Lennart desperate to try and get back past. What's it gonna be? Is he gonna make a dive? No, he takes a look. That's all he does. He takes a look. He's gonna have to hold off for another most of the lap, unless he wants to try and make a move into turn 1. Meanwhile, the two Red Bulls moving together in P5 and P6. Could Ivan try and get past his teammate? I think he'll want to at least try, but Pookie is gonna be... well, he's down in P7 on these fresh soft tyres, and Ivan is gonna be a sitting duck, but Pookie overcooks it a bit. Has to go off the track. And Ivan is just a sitting duck. He doesn't have the answer for the Mercedes pace. And I think Pookie is in for a shot of fastest lap here, which would be at least a consolation prize for being knocked out in Q2. And he's gonna... I think there's gonna be 2 Red Bulls in the space of 1 lap. As he's gaining on Dan Edwin. Dan Edwin's tyres are not gonna be in the best of shape. Don't think... not certain he's close enough for a DRS overtake. Then Boomer picks up another penalty. Actually, I think he is close enough for a DRS overtake. So Dan Edwin is gonna lose P4. And that is indeed 2 Red Bulls in the space of a single lap. Yeah, it's almost like real life, isn't it? So now Faco is at risk. His hard tyres are rather well used. And he won't have an answer for the pace of the Mercedes. And I don't think he had the best exit out of the turn 15 there either. And Ben Dixon is pitting. So Ben Dixon feels like he can try and... I think he sees the pace of Pookie, and yes, indeed, 1:33.1 for fastest lap of the race. And Ben Dixon trying to go for... see if he can... what he can do. He'll have 1 lap fresher tyres than Pookie, who is gaining on Faco as if he was in a completely different class of car. You'd think Faco was in an F2 car. It's like whack. Pookie is the LMP1 car. Faco is an LMP2. And it's just no contest. Fresh. Absolutely fresh. Soft tyres versus 9-lap-old hards. And it's just no competition. There we go. Faco loses P2 to the flying Pookie. And maybe Pookie could be on for a shock victory here. But it depends how much life he takes out of his tyres here. He's already less than 4 seconds behind Hyper, whose tyres are 10 laps old. If there's one thing worse than 10-lap-old hards, it's 10-lap-old mediums. The hards will at least still have a bit of pace. But, Hyper, now in danger of losing P1, a race victory to Pookie, who is definitely on for driver of the day here. That's 9 positions up, and he's already less than 3 seconds behind. But he needs to gain 3 seconds as well, because Pookie does have 3 seconds of time penalties. And Ivan, less than a second behind his teammate. Is there going to be an element of team orders here? Possibly, possibly not. But Ivan looking like he could get past his teammate here. And Leonard is down in 7th. Did he pit? I don't know. Ivan is making a move and Dan Edwin doesn't fight it. Leonard has pit, so Leonard down in 7th. He's going to lose a lot of ground to Faco here. Faco in P3. Leonard only going to get 6 points for his troubles. And I think that could well be this championship switching again, but it won't be a lot. I'll have to look. I'll have to think. Faco with 173.
Let me just pull up the calculator on my phone. So, 173 plus 15, 188 points.
And so, yeah, that's Leonard in P6. He's only going to get 6 points. P7 even. He's only going to get 6 points from that. So Faco is going to take the lead, but only by 2 points. And Pookie is within a second of his teammate. So Pookie gonna want to try and get past the, what's it called? His teammate, the other Mercedes, but he wasn't able to make it the move stick there. He was just a bit too far behind, and Hyper lets him through. Maybe he thinks that Pookie's gonna be taking too much out of his tires. And maybe he can keep pace with Pookie, but right now, technically, Hyper is still in the lead of the race. And Dan Boomer, looking like wanting to try and get past his teammate. I think Julian did make a mistake at some point, because the gap was 10 seconds between these two at one point. And now Julian is gonna lose P10 to his teammate, but I don't know why Julian didn't fight back there. Dem Boomer used up all of his energy. And Julian going off the track once again. I think that's why Julian been picking up so many penalties. What are the penalties? 6 seconds to 9 seconds. So Pookie has managed to gain a second on Hyper, but I think his softs are definitely starting to fall off the cliff somewhat. He has to try and gain another 2 seconds, but I don't think he can do it. His soft tires will be starting to feel the pain. He put those tires on 4 laps ago, and we know that those soft tires are not going to be lasting too long. He still has a bit of grip through the corners, and that's where he's gonna have to try and make the time up. And he's already made about 6/10 of a second, 7/10 of a second, I think. He's got so much more corner grip at this moment in time, and I think Pookie could do this. But it depends how long those tires will last. Currently, the gaps between all the drivers are just too far, so we'll have to stick with Pookie here, see how far ahead he can get. Ben Dixon has not been making the progress he would have liked. He put those tires on 3 laps ago. And whilst he is getting closer to the Red Bulls, he's down in 6th. So Ben Dixon has thrown away a race. Oh, Julian has retired. He's crashed out in the entrance of turn 19. But no safety cars. I think it may have been turned off after we had a glitch in the Tier 2 races in Sunday. Possibly, anyway. Ben Dixon is catching up to Dan Edwin, but he didn't make all the progress he would have liked. He threw away what would have been what would have been P3 here. Instead, he's gifted it to Faco. And Pookie has gained 3 seconds on Hyper, so he's now 3.5 seconds ahead of his teammate. All his tyres need to do is hold on. And now Ben Dixon, I think Dan Edwins had a bit of a whoopsie at some point. Neither driver has a lot of ERS to play with. Oh, that's... Thought for a second that Ben Dixon outbraked himself there. These red walled soft tyres faring a lot better than the medium tyres. They are 4 laps old to 14 laps old. And yeah, Ben Dixon is going to take Dan Edwin here. But to think that this could have been an easy P3. And I think he threw it away to try and get and make the same sort of progress that Pookie was. Pookie still holds on to the fastest lap of the race, 1:33.1. Ben Dixon, almost 8 tenths slower on his best attempt, and he did just get past Dan Edwin there. So Ben Dixon starting to make the progress he would have liked. Leonard, meanwhile, miles behind. And now Ivan at risk. And it's just going to be more bad luck for Ivan here. He's going to lose so much ground in the championship. He was leading at one point, and at this rate, it's looking like he could well be out of contention. We've got a yellow flag. That is cringe, even. He's had a moment through the triple right-hander, and he's lost P8 to Kane. And I don't think his soft tyres will have the same type of life in them. Nope, they're 9 laps old. So they're quite old. And Kane's tyres are only 2 laps old. Only 2 laps older. Should still have a bit of pace in them. They're mediums after all. So Cringe has lost out here. He's only going to get 2 points from this race. As Pookie continues to drop Hyper. He's now 4.6 seconds ahead. This should be now an easy victory for Pookie, and an unexpected victory too. Meanwhile, it seems that Ben Dixon's tyres are starting to fall off a bit. He's not made the same inroads on Ivan that he was on Dan Edwin. Ivan driving a bit better here, I think. As we move on to the 27th and penultimate lap, as Ben Dixon picks up a time penalty. His first penalty of the race, 3 seconds worth. So even if he does get past Ivan here, it's more than likely that he's not going to be able to keep P4. So Ivan, I think, more than likely on to finish P4 here. And yeah, 6 lap old soft tyres, but Ivan's hards are 18 laps old, and he's still losing a lot of time, but I thought he would gain more time, actually. Those soft tyres probably overheating a bit. Very acidic squash. Oof. I need to put more water in there. Well, Ben Dixon has caught up somewhat, but it's not going to be enough. The only way he will be able to gain 3 seconds on Ivan is if Ivan makes a mistake. We're heading towards the final lap. Pookie is just... At the start of this race, I would thought that the best he would have been able to do was maybe P2, but he's made the alternate strategy work. He's pulled a Lewis Hamilton in Brazil sort of thing. Yeah, he's just played the masterclass here. Started on the medium tires, he went to the softs. He stretched those mediums for ages. And then he pit at the right time. And now, whilst his tires are starting to age a bit, it's worked so well. And Pookie on for, I think, his second victory of the season. And I think Hyper's probably kicking himself for not qualifying on the medium tyres. Because evidently the alternate strategy was the one to have here. Of course, Pookie's running low on fuel. Could be a bit of jeopardy on the horizon. He could run out of fuel, but we do have easy fuel saving, fuel thingy-majig here. Low fuel mode, that's it. So even if he does run out, it's not going to really affect him too much. Pookie comes across the finishing line to win the United States round of Carbon Racing Series. Hyper has to settle for second. Faco has to settle for third. And Ivan does manage to hold on to P4. Bendix in fifth. Dan Edwin sixth. Leonard, I don't think he managed to gain much on his starting position. In fact, I think he's finished exactly where he started, as Cringe has had another spin. He's lost an end plate, and he's at risk of losing even position 9 to Den Boomer here. He's gonna have to, he understeers off the track. There's a bit of last lap drama here. Den Boomer is gonna get past. It's Cringe has lost. Oh man. Den Boomer picks up P9 at the death. What a finale. I didn't see that coming. Last lap drama. Cringe. The McLarens are looking a bit more planted than they were in qualifying. And picks up P9 for his troubles. Not a great finishing position, but it's points. And Cringe got to be kicking himself for losing time at the same corner twice in the same race. So Pookie wins. Driver of the day, as far as the game is considered, and yeah, I think that's driver of the day for Pookie, by even my considerations. Hyper P2, Faco P3, Ivan P4, Bendixon P5, Dan Edwin P6, Leonard P7, Kane P8, Den Boomer P9, and Cringe P10, and Julian and Dirk and Jurassic
all failed to finish.
Though for some reason it still says that Jurassic was 17 laps down. And yeah, Pookie also picks up the fastest lap, so he gains 26 points from that race. Astonishing. So, fairly so-and-so race if we think about it. No real drama, no controversy. It's happened, really. Oh, and Sam spectated for some reason. Maybe he was a bit too late and didn't pick up his race seat like he was hoping to. Unfortunate. Well, thank you so much for watching tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was a decent. It was a 3-star race, I think. 3.5 at best. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. And I need to pick up the... Yeah. thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week. I've decided I'm not going. Ooh, you saying I should pit starting lap 10 really made me question myself. Well, hmm. I think I don't know if it sounded like you were listening to me, listening to the stream whilst you were racing. That's probably not a good idea because I don't know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, you were on the medium tires, and to be fair, I don't know how long they last. So, I don't know. You were listening. Yeah. Rule number one, don't listen to me. Second monitor. I don't have a second monitor. I'm lucky to even have one. If I had a second monitor, my PC would cook. And I'd cook as a result. The entire house would cook. 70%. The mediums, yeah. Yeah, you stretch them really far. Works out in the end. Bloody hell, man. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Catch you next week. I was about to say, I'm not gonna stream the tier 2 races anymore because it's painful. I don't like view advertising my poor driving to the world. So yeah, we'll catch you at 7 p.m. UK time next Wednesday for the next race, which will be round 17 in Mexico. Thank you for watching, and good night.